Hello everyone, and a happy belated new year. It is 2025 and yes, I am still here. First, I want to apologize for not releasing a video for, a couple months. Things have been chaotic and, well, life happens. Today I want to dig in a little bit into when you know it's okay to stop writing a specific project. But first, just a little personal update. I am still digging for answers as to why some of my symptoms are the way they are. Undiagnosed medical conditions. I have multiple diagnoses, however, there's still stuff happening that is left untreated. I finally feel like I've got the best neurologist that I could ask for, and it really feels like he's going to find some answers for me, so this could be my year where my entire life changes. For now, I am off work still until the middle of April, but that could be extended depending on what happens over the next few months. So during the day, I have rough days, I have good days, I spend a lot of time watching Netflix, I'll be honest, and sometimes I end up down this rabbit hole where nothing gets done. But otherwise, I do work on housework and prepping for meals, looking after my kids, being there for my family. We've been spending a lot of time playing some board games, the World of Warcraft board game, as well as a D&D board game. Lots of appointments coming up, and all I can say is it's been overwhelming, and I've been nervous and a little bit excited, but one day at a time. So let's talk about writing. It is absolutely okay to stop writing a project that for whatever reason you are not satisfied with or just not feeling it anymore. So what are some of the reasons that make you want to stop a project? Well, life is too busy. Okay, there's one. I don't know that that's a real excuse to stop, but maybe put one on pause. Second reason, which is a big one for me, is health, medical conditions that get in the way of writing. Another could be that you're just not feeling a project. So, you work hard on the project, you're excited about it, and then something changes, something happens, and you're just not happy with it anymore. For example, I was working on a short crime thriller story. I've had episodes, so to speak, published previously in the Voices Journal with the Lake Winnipeg Writers Group, which unfortunately no longer exists. But I was taking all of these chapters, putting it together, and turning it into like a novella. Now I reached this point where my original plan with the story wasn't happening. I'm not a plotter, I'm a pantser, but I still had kind of a goal as to where the storyline was going. Unfortunately, I veered off into a different direction and went down a different path, and I'm really not happy with it. Everything is it's feeling very forced. I'm not enjoying myself anymore, so I decided to stop. Now, the other story that I really wanted to focus on was book one in my high fantasy world, and this world was one of the reasons I started writing in the first place, and I've never actually published anything under this pen name or in this world. And so I really, really, really wanted to gear down and get it done. However, with my condition and the way that I am currently, it is just too big for me. There are multiple point of views, character perspectives, and there are so many interweaving storylines, and I'm also changing the point of view to first person present tense instead of third person past tense, and it is a huge project. I have chosen to put that aside temporarily until I get my medical condition under control, and so I'm trying to write a short high fantasy story instead, because that is what I feel like I'm capable of right now. It is a very slow process for me. I used to be able to sit down and bang off a few thousand words in a day, and I can no longer do that, at least not right now. I have about 2 or 3 paragraphs written so far, and that was in about 3 different writing stints. I know that short fantasy stories or novellas, a short ebook, is not as popular as a full, 80, 100,000 100,000 words in a big, huge novel, like an epic novel. It's not as popular as that, but this is just where I'm at right now. And I'm going to do some trial and error and see if my new pen name and my writing style in that pen name gets any traction. So my advice to you is don't be hard on yourself, okay? This is your writing life. This is what you love to do. If you're not enjoying writing a project, then it's okay to stop. Who really has the right to tell you to stop? Especially if you're an independent author, a self-published author. You do not have to listen to everybody else out there and go with what everybody else wants. You need to enjoy what you're doing. And this is also where writing multiple projects at one time can come in handy. So say you're writing in one world and you kind of feel unsure of where it's going, or you kind of freeze, but you still want to write. It's okay to set it aside for a period of time and work on something completely different to take your mind out of that world for a period of time. And I'm not talking about for years, because that's just not, realistic. You're not going to ever get the story done if you put it aside for years. But hey, put it aside for a week, put it aside for a month, set it aside so that when you come back, you can see it with fresh eyes. So my goals for 2025, 1, health. 2, family. 3 is at least trying to complete one short story. And I know that doesn't sound like a lot of writing, but that is what I know is achievable right now. If I heal over the next few months, if I start improving, things start getting better, then maybe I can start writing more than that or go back to my big epic high fantasy world. But for right now, I am going to be kind to myself, so be kind to yourself. And I am just going to take one little tiny goal and see if I can achieve that. As for the YouTube channel and the podcast, I'm hoping to get things back rolling here, even if it's not weekly, maybe bi-weekly, just until things get a little bit easier on my end. So that's it for today. I hope you have a great rest of your day, afternoon, evening, night, or whatever, and be kind to yourself.